Welcome back to the Gallowgate view. Today, Newcastle's summer is already starting to feel spicy. Tino Livramento sends a message to the Toon Army, while Manchester City and Arsenal keep CE out. Newcastle are tracking Guella Doué, a hot right-back target from Strasbourg who might solve a problem we cannot afford to ignore. So, before we get into it, if you're Toon Army and you want proper Newcastle talk with no nonsense, hit subscribe and join the channel. Away the lads. According to Jean Foutu, with Sport Witness also picking it up, Newcastle are now tracking RC Strasbourg right-back Guéla Doué, and they've called him a hot target for the summer. I'll read, lads. This one's interesting, because this isn't some random name being thrown about for clicks. Well, maybe it is a little bit, because transfer season is full of absolute nonsense, let's be honest. But the profile? The profile makes sense. Doué is 23, an Ivory Coast international, mainly a right-back, but he can also cover at centre-back. He joined Strasbourg from Rennes in July 2024. He's got a contract until 2029, and the reported asking price is around 30 million euros, which is roughly 26 million pounds. Now look, that's not pocket change. But in this market, for a young fullback who can defend, attack, cover two positions and still has resale value, that's canny business if we genuinely believe in him. And this is where it matters for us. Kieran Trippier and Emil Kraft are leaving when their contracts expire next month. So suddenly, we're looking at the right-back position and thinking, right, who's actually there? Tino Livramento is the obvious one, and I love Tino, I really do. But he's had injury issues, and he's still been linked with a possible move away, even if that now feels less likely. So we can't just sit there with one recognized right-back and pretend everything's fine. That's how you end up in December, freezing outside St. James's Park, watching someone play out of position and wondering why the club didn't sort it when they had the chance. Depth doesn't win headlines, but it wins seasons. That's massive, that is. And honestly, if we're serious about pushing on, if we're serious about competing properly, not just turning up and hoping we're best 11 stay fit every week, then this is the kind of signing we need to be making. Not always the superstar, not always the fancy name. Sometimes it's the player who gives the manager options, covers injuries, pushes the starter, and stops the whole system falling apart when one lad pulls up. The mad part is, Strasbourg apparently won't oppose a sale if the right offer comes in because they need to balance the books. So there might actually be a deal to be done here, and Doué himself is reportedly not against a move to the Premier League as long as he's joining an important project. Well, how, eh? What more do you want? St. James's Park under the lights, a club with ambition, owners who've shown they're serious, a fan base that turns a normal fixture into a full emotional breakdown, and a project that's still got miles to climb. That's not just an important project. That's Newcastle United waking up after years of being held back. But here's where I'm not getting carried away. Not yet. This name has come out of nowhere a bit. We don't know how deep our scouting has gone on him. We don't know if he's top of the list or just one of several options. And we don't know if Newcastle are ready to actually make a proper move. So I'd rate this rumour as interesting, but not one to lose your head over. 6 out of 10 feels about right. The position is absolutely a priority. The player ticks plenty of boxes. The price is sensible. The club selling him makes sense. The player being open to the move makes sense. But the source? That's the bit where I'm still standing at the bar with one eyebrow up, waiting for someone more reliable to back it up. Still, I'll say this. If we let Trippier and Kraft go, don't replace them properly, and then spend the season relying on one right-back to survive every match, that's not ambition. That's asking for trouble. We've moved past that. We're not the same Newcastle that just crossed fingers and hoped for the best. We need planning, we need depth, we need competition all over the pitch. And if Guella Doué is the lad who gives us that on the right side, then ni bother. Get the scouting done properly and make the move if he's the right one. Because the old guard love acting like Newcastle should know our place. Nah. Our place is higher up the table, stronger in the squad, and ready for every single fixture. So, if this deal is real, I'm listening. I'm not shouting from the rooftops yet, but I'm definitely listening. And here's the question for you lot. Should Newcastle move fast for Guella Doué? Or is 30 million euros too risky for a lad unproven in England? Drop your take below, subscribe for proper Toon transfer talk. According to the report doing the rounds, Tino Livramento has sent a message to Newcastle fans on Instagram. While the noise around his future still hasn't fully gone away, I'll read, lads. This one feels a bit different, because Tino hasn't come out and said, "I'm staying." He hasn't come out and said, "I'm leaving." He's done that proper modern footballer thing where you post a thank you message, keep it respectful, keep it vague, and leave every fan in the comments trying to decode it like it's some secret transfer document. And honestly, man, I can't stand this part of the summer. We've already had Anthony Gordon go to Barcelona for £70 million, and whether people want to dress it up or not, that one stings. A talented lad. A player we backed. A player who had some massive moments for us, gone before the window's even properly warmed up. So now everyone's looking at Tino thinking, right, is he next? And that's the worry, isn't it? Because Tino Livramento has been linked with Manchester City and Arsenal for months. The self-appointed elite sniff around one of our players, and suddenly everyone acts like we should just accept it, smile politely, and say thank you for the attention. Nah, didn't start with that. This is Newcastle United. We're not here to be a development club for clubs who think they've got a divine right to take whoever they fancy. Now look, Tino's season was up and down. He's had injuries, he's had setbacks, and he probably hasn't had that clean run of matches he would have wanted. But the talent is obvious. The pace, the power, the way he carries the ball, the calmness for a lad still only 23. There's a serious player there, a proper one. And what gets me is this idea that he now has to prove himself so a so-called bigger club can come back in for him. How man? Prove himself for who? He plays for Newcastle. He plays at St. James's Park. He plays in front of the Toon Army. He's already at a massive club with a project that's still building, still climbing, still trying to kick the door down while the old guard hold the handle shut from the other side. That's the bit some people still don't get. We're not begging players to stay at some little stepping stone club. We're asking them if they've got the bottle to be part of something bigger than the easy move. And Tino's message to the fans, thanking everyone after what he called an up-and-down season, does feel respectful. I'll give him that. He didn't ignore the support. He didn't act like the fans don't matter. He acknowledged it. That matters up here. Because when you've walked up to SJP in that cold northeast air, pint still sitting heavy from the strawberry, hearing the noise grow around the Gallowgate end, you know this club isn't just another badge on a shirt. It gets under your skin. And I reckon Tino knows that. The interesting part is the timing. He's preparing to fly out to Florida with the England squad ahead of the World Cup. And if he does well there, the whole conversation could change again. That's the annoying bit. One good tournament, and suddenly the whispers get louder. The same clubs who went quiet because of his injuries might start circling again, acting like they've discovered him first. We know what he is. We've seen it. And I genuinely believe another season at Newcastle could be the best thing for him. Not just for us, for him. Get properly fit, play consistently, grow under pressure, feel that SJP raw every other week, and actually become one of the key lads in this squad. Because leaving now? I don't know, man. It would feel early. Too early. He's not finished here, not even close. And after losing Gordon, the last thing we need is another young, high-ceiling player walking out while we're trying to build something serious. We can't keep talking about ambition and then watch our best young players get pulled away one by one. That's not a project. That's a warning sign. So for me, the message is nice, but the real message needs to come from the club. Set the tone. Make it clear. Tino is part of our future unless someone comes in with absolutely stupid money, and even then, we should be thinking twice. Because sometimes, keeping a player is the statement. Not every power move is a signing. Sometimes it's looking at Man City, Arsenal, or whoever else is lurking and saying, "No, he's ours." And if Tino wants to stay, fight for his place, and give us another full season, then I'm all in. But if he's got one eye on the exit and sees Newcastle as a waiting room before joining the old guard, then be honest with us now. Because the Toon Army can handle the truth. What we can't stand is being strung along. So here's my question for you lot. If Tino Livramento gets a big offer after the World Cup, should we fight to keep him at all costs, or should Newcastle cash in and only build with players who are fully committed to us?